Hey there, and welcome to Be the CEO of Your Life podcast. I'm your host, Olga Lacroix, a mom, a former therapist, a certified coach, and a mindfulness teacher. I am here to share valuable tips and insights for all of you mothers and busy women out there. Why? My goal to help you take care of your mental well-being without sacrificing your life of accomplishments. Whether you are juggling family, career, or personal growth, this podcast is your go-to resource for becoming the best version of yourself. Let's dive in and start mastering the art of balance together. What's up, everybody? Welcome to, I think we're in episode 249 or 50 of Be the CEO of Your Life. I am coming to you from such a happy place because this morning I went for a really peaceful walk with my friend Leslie, who's here in this episode with me. And it was exactly what my soul needed.
Me too.
And right? You too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leslie and I had scheduled this podcast recording like months ago. And then we had to reschedule. And so happened that we decided to go on a walk this morning, same day as the recording of this episode. And I have to tell you that what our conversation naturally sort of took us this morning made me want to have Leslie in this podcast even more for all of you to listen in to what these two friends have to say. Yay. But let me first introduce you to Leslie Robertson. She's a seasoned personal trainer and health coach dedicated to empowering moms to prioritize their wellness. Drawing from 15 years of experience, Leslie's approach revolves around fostering a positive mindset and implementing sustainable habits tailored to mothers' unique needs. Influenced by her background as a former NCAA Division I athlete and elementary school teacher, Leslie's journey towards personal training was fueled by a desire to empower others, shaped by her own weight loss journey since age 18 and experiences as a mother of two. So I want to say that Leslie is advocating modeling success and seeking mentorship for moms, and she encourages them to learn from those who have walked similar paths. She emphasizes on setting boundaries, delegating tasks, and again, prioritizing self-care. So please help me welcome Leslie.
Woo! Thanks for the intro. I'm so happy to be here. And I also loved we were like continuing to talk about how amazing our walk and talk was today. And now we get to continue it, which is so awesome. So thanks for having me.
It's like well, thanks for inviting me on the walk this morning. That was awesome. For all of you listening, we went to basically the woods within the city and we listened to birds sing and we walked by the water, a little pond, and it was perfect. It rained on us and I didn't even feel like that was a problem.
No, didn't matter. Wasn't going to stop us.
We just walked through that. Yeah. So Leslie, what should this audience know about you that your bio didn't tell us?
Wow. What should my audience know about me that I didn't share in the bio? That I really, truly am obsessed with helping moms. And it mostly comes from a place of when I just became a mom, I was trying to do it on my own and I was like floundering in the stress and overwhelm. So I sought out, mentoring, and I, as myself, got a personal trainer as well. And I saw the value and how it completely transformed everything for me so I could get my life to a better place. So I truly get it, like how hard it can be and how you feel like you'll never get out of this place. But I also now see the value in having a coach. And I've had coaches my whole life, but it's even more important to have that support and mentorship and that community to support you as a mom, because we do have less time and we do have other people to take care of. So that's why it's my mission and purpose and passion to help moms feel good and take better care of themselves. And, some people can figure it out on their own, but most people can't. So I like to provide that support to other moms. So that's something like I'm super passionate about. What else? I don't know. I feel like I'm more than a mom. So I love being a mom, but I also love being a business owner. I love being a coach. I love being, a friend and a wife and to learn new things. So I love being a mom, but I also love being so many other things. So sometimes I have a hard time balancing all that and feeling like I'm not, you can't always do all the things really well. But just my goal in life right now is just finding a balance to, having fun and enjoying and being present in all my different roles. So that's something that I'm really working on figuring out. And and you're a great person to be on this journey with, because I know you do this with people as well, and it's your mission too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely we have that in common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We had an interesting conversation this morning, talking about wearing all these hats, right? And we both have like people in our lives who are doing great or terrible at it. And we're like, yeah, how about this person? And it kind of brought us into our own conversation of what it is that we are doing as moms, as business owners, as coaches, to sort of like not just keep our shit together, but nourish ourselves, nourish our relationships that matter, including the one with our work. What I'm just curious, what kind of stood out for you from that conversation we had that we can share with the audience?
Yeah, so just about the whole, like, obviously I'm a personal trainer. I like to call myself a health and lifestyle coach as well, because I'm doing more, like I do see people in person and help them work out, but I want to help people, feel less stressed and to take some things off their plate so they have to make less decisions. So really it's just all about focusing on what matters and simplifying the process. So, I know some of the most annoying things we have to do every day is like, what are we having for dinner? So, not having to think so much is like, okay, we're going to have some sort of protein, we're going to have a vegetable, we're going to have a carb, right? And with the workouts, what should you do for a workout? Well, we're going to do 5 exercises, a total body workout, do a couple legs, couple upper body, a core, get your heart rate up. And then let's just focus on doing 2 20-minute workouts a week. So just simplifying the process of health and fitness for moms. So like giving them a plan, but also like, okay, well, what would be like 1% better for you, or what's something that you can commit to that you feel like you can be successful with? So maybe it's 1 workout a week, and I'm going to go for a walk on the weekends, and I'm going to have somebody make my meals. I'm going to order like pre-prepared meals since I don't have the time and I don't want to think about it. So just really figuring out how to simplify the process, but also kind of automate it and create systems. But then every mom's life's different. So really just figuring out, okay, what are the bare ass minimums that want to create so that your life becomes easier and you're doing something for yourself every day. So that's really what I feel I provide and how I support moms, is like simplifying, creating systems, and making it a lifestyle, not just something you're doing for 90 days or until you lose 20 pounds. It's like, what do you want to do and how do you want to feel for the rest of your life? Not just until you lose weight or until you go on that trip and fit into the dress. It's like, how do you want to feel? It's not just how do you want to look, it's how do you want to feel. And I'm pretty sure you want to feel less stressed. You want to feel at ease. You want to be present, not to make a million decisions every day. So yeah, I think that's really what I got out of that. So like that is my gift, is helping people simplify the process and make them enjoy it so they can actually stick to it, right? Instead of just doing it because they're in this 30-day or 90-day program. I'm going to do it for the rest of your life. So I even have clients I trained 5 years ago and I'm still in their head. Where's the protein? Did you drink water? Like, put your phone away, So those are the things I that's what I love about what I do, is it stays with people forever, right? So people need help with that. Yeah.
Well, I was just in a coaching call before coming here to record, and my client said, you know what? I just want to be fit for life. And I was like, I'm going to borrow that. I'm probably will call our program that, Leslie, one day.
Oh, yes.
moms that are fit for life, which it's so much more than actual body shape, but actually fit for life. What is your life asking of you? How do you want to live your life? Because she actually said, I feel that I am just surviving life, and instead I want to be fit for life. Now, I don't coach on weight loss or physical anything. And yet it always comes out in conversations one way or another, because fitness is beyond body and weight.
Oh God.
It's all those things, right? It's your mind, is your heart, is your spirit. It's having that clear thoughts. Yes. So anyways, I love that. I'm like, as if this is happening before my podcast. I love it.
Yay. Yes. And fit for life with all life's challenge, like fit for challenges, fit for setbacks, fit for ups and downs. Like, so yeah, I love that. Fit for life. I think that should be everyone's goal and dream. It's a feeling. We want to feel fit. We want to feel healthy. We want to feel strong and proud of ourselves. And I feel a lot of times if you're only doing it to like change the shape of your body, like, I don't know, like we can't necessarily control that. And it's not like a easy process. And our bodies do change as we get older and have kids and different things we go through in life. So I think having the goal to be feeling fit, healthy, energy is a big one too. I think that's what we should be focusing on, is a feeling, not a look or a size or a weight. And when you can make that your why, it's so much easier to stick with it when the scale's not moving, or, when you're not yet feeling or looking as good as you do. So yeah, I love that. Let's make that our program name.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So hint, guys, there will be a program that will be launching soon.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to come back to simplicity.
Yeah.
One of the conversation that Leslie and I were having this morning is how complicated life really is. We make it be for moms. Like being a mom in 2024 is not easy.
Heck no, it doesn't matter how old your kids are. No, it's true.
It doesn't matter, because there's a lot of comparing. There's a lot of pressure now. Like, this is where I feel in aspects feminism has fucked us in, like the butt truly badly, is when like we went out there to like be the best professionals that we could have been, but we still had like this innate desire to be the best moms.
Yeah.
And it's like this, what I was telling you, like I feel like I have conflicting massive life goals.
Same.
And they don't have to conflict for me. I could choose one for now, and the other one might surface later. But so we were talking about the complexity of being a mom today, in that we want to have great bodies. Like we want to be super sexy. We want to be super fit. We want to be Instagrammable, right? Like, look what I did for my kid's birthday. It's like, Instagrammable. Perfect. And then we're like, want to have energy at the end of the day to have sex with the husband and enjoy it. And we want to meal plan, and we want to make videos for like TikTok. And we want to, like, God knows how many other things we have in, and be the best friend, show up for your friends and be there for your parents. And the list goes on.
Yeah.
Like in so many ways, it was a lot easier before.
Yeah, you need a team to do all that, right? But like for me, what shifted for me is before, like, I've changed the shape of my body more times than I can count. I've done fitness competitions. I've done like crazy, like get super fit for all the different milestone birthdays. And then you get there and like, okay, cool. Still not happy. Now what? Right. So like instead, so now I'm shifting my focus to like treating because I am an athlete. I'm a former volleyball player. I played in university there. So now I'm like, I want to, when I'm an athlete, like you work at this certain level, but I want to be also like an athlete as a mom too. So like having that high level of presence and engagement and I want to be a fun mom. I want to be a super fun and engaged and, great partner as well. I want to be a superstar trainer and business owner. But in order to do that, like I gotta be healthy. Like I gotta take care of myself. So but there is a way to do it without like being so extreme. So like you got to take a look, like do an honest audit of your life and be like, okay, the main priority is like, I want to feel good. I want to be an awesome mom. I want to be an awesome business owner. And we can't always do these things all the time super well, but it's a balancing act. But in order to be at that optimal version of yourself, you have to take care of yourself. You have to sleep, right? So sleep's number one. Sometimes kids make that more challenging, but it gets better eventually. We need to nourish ourselves with good food, right? If we're just grabbing and growing all this crap, like you're not gonna have energy, right? And it's not, I need to eat this way to lose weight. It's like, no, you need to eat this way to feel optimal and have energy and be on your game, right? And to not have to be stressing about, is this the right thing? So if we just create systems where we're like, we're going to eat whole foods, we're going to avoid the foods that don't make us feel good, we're going to be organized, then that reduces stress and gives you energy. And our bodies are made to move. So like moving our bodies should be a priority. And even if it's only a walk, you're carving out time for yourself. So you're moving your body, carving out time for you. And if we don't get that white space and that movement, like, of course you're going to feel like crap, right? You're not going to have energy to, have sex, do have fun activities with your kids, like show up for your clients, post on Instagram. So I'm all about, in order to be at an optimal, level of performance and headspace and mindset, you really do. It comes back to the foundation. Like, are you drinking water? Are you sleeping? Are you nourishing yourself with good food? And the working out's a bonus, especially when you don't have, when you don't have a lot of time, but it really should become a priority once you have the energy, you're getting your food down, you're drinking the water, and you know what you're doing. I feel like a lot of the reasons why women don't work out or strength train is because they don't know what they're doing. So they're like, oh, I don't want to hurt myself. Or they go to classes and they can't make it to the time, right? So they're just trying to do all these things that they think will be a quick fix. But really, like this is what trainers exist for, and coaches and different programs you can be a part of so you can learn how to, you don't have to figure it out on your own. And I heard this quote today about when a rocket ship takes off, it's that initial start that requires the most energy. And then as soon as it's in the air, it doesn't require as much energy, right? So it's usually that starting point, that first like 30 to 90. And for some people, it's the first 6 months requires the most energy and it's the hardest. And that's where having a coach like us can make that journey so much easier, right? Because we're going to give you a customized program to follow. We're there to support you. We're in your back pocket if you ever have questions. So, and that's why I love what I do. I want to help moms be able to perform at their highest. And sometimes we don't know what to do. So, like, why not just come and ask one of us and we'll help you? But in order to have that energy, you have to be taking care of yourself. So, I think taking care of yourself should come before anything else. That should be the number one thing. And that's why I'm all about helping moms prioritize themselves. And it's not just work out, eat to lose weight. It's like, no, you literally need to like eat to live, good foods preferably. You need to sleep and you need to move your body.
Mm.
So I don't know if that answered your question, but that's I totally relate to that balance of trying to do all the things really well, but there is a way to do it easier and with more flow and ease when you're feeling good. On an energetic and like physical level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in some ways, like even the list of what you call back to
Yeah,
basics
yeah.
could be
Yeah,
really
yeah.
overwhelming for somebody
You're
who's
right.
not drinking the water, who's not getting the sleep, who's
Mm-hmm.
not eating the foods that, I don't know,
Right.
are
Right.
nourishing. They're just
Yeah.
eating whatever is available to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so for those of you who feel like, my God, there's another list. Like, I think the intention behind this podcast is to really help you think of even the simplest of
Right.
baby
Pick
steps that
pick
you want to
one. Yeah.
take.
Right.
And ultimately for me is, if you need to hear from somebody else, here it is. I
Mm-hmm.
give you permission to make life easy,
Oh, yeah.
fun,
Mm-hmm.
light.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Yes,
And I
it is.
think, Leslie, you bring a good point. It all begins with like filling up our own cup. Now, we've heard
Yeah.
this a million times, and somehow it doesn't help us. We're
It
like,
doesn't.
I know I should put the mask on me, but
There's
listen,
a
I'm
hole in
panicking.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
my kid needs it too. So what do I
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, yeah.
And we, so many of us moms go to bed thinking like, fuck, another day that ends, and I didn't meet all of the things that I said I
I
wanted to.
know.
Like, pretty sure
Yeah.
my husband is disappointed. I turned him
Yeah.
down. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure my kid
Mm-hmm.
is upset that I yelled at him at supper because I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to manage like
Mm-hmm.
cooking
Mm-hmm.
and like
Mm-hmm.
come back
Mm-hmm.
from work. For so
cleaning
many of us,
up.
and
Yeah, yeah.
are they feeling like, God damn it,
Mm.
may I do better tomorrow? But how?
Yeah.
How?
So like, and that's something I do. And you need to focus on like, well, what did you do? Right? Like,
Mm,
let's focus on what's a win? Like, what did you do? So if we constantly think about we didn't do, or we didn't do this well, or should have done that, could have done that, I shouldn't have. So let's focus on what you did do. And then what did you learn? Like, how is the feeling you have right now of the things that, like, first of all, you can't do everything, obviously, but
right?
what did you do? And what can you do to make tomorrow a little bit better, right? So if you're freaking out at your child for whatever, um, so what can we do to like regulate ourselves, or maybe, come at that with a little more patience tomorrow? Well, you got to look back. Did you eat enough? Did you sleep? Did you
Mhm.
get some time to yourself? And usually the big thing for moms is like they didn't get time for themselves. Or are we generally connecting and being present with our children? Or are we like, and we're like on our phones, right? So we have to like look back. And same with like the going to bed feeling like unsatisfied, or like you didn't do enough. You got to look back in your day, like where did things maybe go wrong, and where can we kind of maybe improve or make things a little better tomorrow. So I'm like, give me 1 to 3 wins from your day. Doesn't have to be related to your health and fitness. Like I didn't I don't know. I'm trying to think of what are some wins that I had yesterday. Like yesterday, so I went out for a walk, I did my workout, and I wasn't rushing my kids at bedtime, right? I'm like, that's a win. And then I'll even try and predict tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to do an awesome podcast with Olga, and I'm going to rock my presentation tonight. So it's just always looking for the wins, kind of to shift your mindset out of that like lack mentality to like, okay, well, that sucked. I learned from that. In order for that to not happen tomorrow, I'm going to do this. But then what did go well? So that's
Right.
what I do. I don't know how you coach your people on that, but I'm like, okay, so these are things I didn't do, but they can wait till tomorrow. I don't like the way I felt. So how can I make it better, right? Here's what I did, and here's what I'm gonna do tomorrow to make tomorrow better.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really love that focusing
Mhm.
on what you did do because we're
Yeah,
so hard on ourselves that we
we
just
are.
we're there judging. You didn't do this, you pissed off this person, you did, and that's not a great feeling. However, I also think it's important to pay close attention to what was
Mhm.
draining.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
what did I do
Yeah.
or not do?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did I talk to myself? I
Yes.
personally find that my own inner dialogue is normally the
Mm,
thing that is not forgiving, that is not allowing me to just
totally.
make it easier on
Totally.
me that
We're
day.
perfectionists. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also had a lack of connection. Like if there is one thing
Mm.
I would love for moms to have more of is
Mhm.
connection to themselves,
Oh my God,
to
yes.
know what it is that their body is saying to
You're
them.
so right. That's something I'm working on. Yeah.
Like, what is your body
Meditation.
telling? Yeah, you were
Yeah.
mentioning today, like
Yeah.
it's whispering, but I just keep ignoring it. We all know some things where like my body wanted
Mhm.
to exercise yesterday. My brain
Mhm.
was like having a tantrum about it, right? I run into you at the gym and I'm like,
I know.
I did not want to be here.
Me neither.
My body,
Yeah.
my heart forced me to be here. My heart knew this would be good for me. My brain
Yeah.
argued all the way there.
Yeah.
I
Right.
argued at the gym. I did the whole workout with my brain being like, oh, fine. And my heart was like, I'm in a happy place.
Good job, Olga. Yeah, yeah. I
So,
know.
how do we lead with heart, ladies? How do we
Oh,
lead with our
man.
heart?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
our
so true.
intention is so good. Like, I want to be a good mom. I want to be a good
Mm.
wife, a good
Yeah.
business owner, or a good employee, a
Yeah.
good career woman. It comes from love, but somewhere in between that happy
Mm.
intention, we
Mhm.
turn ourselves into sergeants,
Yeah.
restricting ourselves from joy,
Yeah.
from
Yeah, me
space. Just have
Yeah.
space.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I find too, like again, you can still be a good mom and yell at your kids sometimes, right?
At
So,
100%. Good
right?
moms yell
So
at their
it's
kids.
yeah, comes with the best of intentions. But we're human. So, and also too, well, what does good look like? What does that mean? Right?
To
So for me,
you, like to
right?
each of
Everyone's
us. Yeah.
different. Like, and that's something I've struggled with is not feeling worthy or good enough. So I was trying to like do better, achieve more, accomplish things, be perfect. So that's like no, what you're doing is enough, right? Like you didn't work out, but you went for a walk, and that's good too. You know, didn't have meal ready, but you made a healthy choice when you ordered that Greek on wheels or whatever, right? So just, what does good enough look like to you? And some of us don't know. We're still trying to figure it out, but just knowing, you can be good and not be perfect and make mistakes and have bad days, but it's giving yourself the grace. And it's like, okay, did we like how that felt? No. Okay, so how do we shift our energy or focus so that we don't have 2, 3, 4 bad days, right? And one of the things I find is once I start, not following through my promises and I do it again and again and again, I'm like, okay, you are now becoming that person who breaks promises. And then I'm mad at myself. So the sooner I can get back to doing the things I had committed and wanted to do, the better. So one of my rules and something I teach my clients from, I learned this from James Clear from Atomic Habits is never skip twice, never miss twice, right? So you have, you skip breakfast or you have a meal that wasn't great. Well, let's not do it 2 nights in a row, right? You skip a workout, great. Let's get right back and do one tomorrow. So I find that really
However,
helps.
I want to interrupt you right there because there's a step in between that.
What's that? You're teaching me something.
I'm teaching you something so you are describing my client. My client is a perfectionist who's never believes she's good enough, right?
Okay.
And so I have to coach this mindset and this core belief out of people.
Ooh,
I don't have to. I love to because I don't know you, but can you imagine any of your children looking at you and saying, Mom, I'm not good enough?
No.
And everybody listening, you're somebody else's child. And let me tell you, it's just not possible. It's not possible that my baby's not good enough. Like he's bless him. Yeah. Anyways, so what helps you not skip it twice is directly related to your attitude when you did skip. And mamas, listen up, because this is where all of us truly, if there was a failure, this is where we fell.
Yes, it's good.
We show up into our experience of like, I had a bellyache, so I didn't go to the gym. Or I'm in my period. Fuck, I hate working on my period. Like, that's not what my body needs.
Yeah,
I'll just go for a dance class much better, or like go for a walk, and that's what my body needs. So you don't do it. You don't show up. You skipped it for whatever the good or bad reason it was. And then you show up to your experience as the most judgmental, bitchy human you can possibly be.
Yeah.
And you judge yourself and you call yourself names and you're like, oh, well, you know,
of course you did this. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, you were never going to hang out to that goal. Yep. Blah, blah, blah. Make yourself feel so bad that you discourage yourself from getting back on it the next day.
Yeah. Because
you believe in perfection, because you believe in forevers. Once I start, it never ends. That's so stupid. We always end. Okay. There is always a break.
Yeah. You're
right.
So
the adding step, yes, don't miss twice in a row, especially because then you're breaking that brain connection to the habit. But also, when you want to show up the most loving to yourself is when you skipped.
Yes.
That will guarantee or add your success to actually showing up the next day.
Wow.
Because you gave yourself permission to skip. It's okay to skip.
And it is okay. You're so right.
It simplifies that, right? It simplifies that routine. We talked about routine. Routine is, for me anyways, it's not every day, it's most days.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. You're right.
So it's having that flexibility. I work out most days. Great.
Yeah.
I'm fit for life.
It doesn't have to be every day. That's right. And that's the thing. If you aim to do every day, like what if you're injured for like or traveling, then you're like at 0, right? So if consistency is like twice a week for the rest of your life, going 5 days a week, we usually can't maintain that. So then you're not consistent. So pick what you can be consistent with, and then your greater chance of success. And then it's easier to keep that momentum going. Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's awesome.
So let's talk about prioritizing. I feel that this is a good conversation to talk about boundaries, which is where I apply most of my own boundaries, is when I want to think about prioritizing. And you heard today firsthand how I'm working currently on setting some stricter boundaries about like my work life so that I can open space in my family life.
Yes.
And that what I am personally experiencing right now is a shift of priorities, which is an interesting process. It's like A moves to B, B moves to A. And mentally, that's how I see it. I'm choosing it that way.
Like that.
I'm realizing that's what my heart wants. And it's not always easy to let the brain come up with a plan to support the heart.
Yes, yes.
But it's worth it. So how do we help these moms who might be feeling overwhelmed right now with a million, like the moment people say priorities with an S, I'm like, you missed the point.
Yeah.
There's one priority. Right. What is it? Right. For this week, for this day, for this moment, for this quarter, even.
True. Yeah. Yeah. So how do we set priorities like with specifically like women's health and fitness? Is that what you're, yeah. So again, you gotta figure like, and I'm sure you do this as well. Like you gotta get really clear on like why are we doing this? Like what is the focus? What is it that we're going for? And like some people, the outcome could be like, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, great. That's great. But like why? And like what are the habits we need to do to achieve that? So then it's great to have an outcome-based goal, but then what is the actual steps we need to be taking? So what's like the behaviors that are going to get you there? So if we focus on the behaviors and what we are actually going to do, so the taking actions, a lot of times we get stuck in the feeling and the thinking and what I would like, this is my situation, I want this. But in order for us to actually start taking action, you have to start thinking differently about your goal. So that's a goal, but what do you need to do to get there? But also you need to be really honest with yourself and like, what do you have the capacity for? Are we in a weight loss phase? Or are we in a, I got to get my shit together phase, right? Sometimes, moms in summer, maybe it's not a great time to lose weight, but it's a great time to really create good systems and routines that are going to still allow you to take care of yourself, right? So I think it's really important to figure out where you are, like what season of life are you in? And that goal can still be there, but maybe it's just we're in a getting our life together. And then when there's like a stretch where it makes sense, we can focus on, the body composition or transformation goals, like physically. But I'd say creating like, first of all, having an honest audit and look at your current life and your time, and where you could maybe add or take some things away. And maybe there's things you're doing that you could continue doing. So like, what do we need to stop? What do we need to start? What do we need to continue? Where are we at in our life? And then figuring out what are those non-negotiables. So I always really encourage my moms, like, how do you want to start and end your day and start there? So how do you want to start it? How do you want to end it? And maybe sometimes working out isn't in that for now. And then maybe we want to have a slow start to the morning, get up like 10 minutes earlier to have like a coffee in peace, or, maybe lay out our plans for the day. But I think creating non-negotiables and setting realistic expectations and behaviors that we can actually do consistently. So I would say, yeah, figure out where you are in your life, get really clear on what it is you actually want, and then kind of work backwards. But then start with where you are and what you can consistently commit to at this moment in time. But just picking like one or two things, right? But making it make sense. But also, when you have a goal, it does have to be like top of mind. So, when our kids have, when our kids are sick or just in general, kids are always the number one focus, but you need to put as much attention into your children, actually more into yourself. So we have to kind of get over that. You're not less of a mom, you're not selfish. Like it's actually like it's necessary for you to, put in a little bit more effort into yourself and prioritize what you really want and work towards feeling better than you do now. Yeah, so I think it's like non-negotiables and finding a way to make it fit into your life, but also it should be the most important thing on your calendar, and everything should come after that. It's a process.
So I'm gonna give them an example.
Yeah,
it's more tangible. I am personally, my main priority right now, and it's to not be a mom in a rush.
A mom in a rush, yeah.
So it is a feeling I despise beginning to end, being in a rush, period. Being in a rush. Like I feel like it's not me. I'm the person who slow walks, like you saw me today. I'm like, I'm going to close my eyes and listen to the birds. That's a representation of my personality. And by nature, I don't like when people push me or rush me or like, let's go, you have to do this by. And I've become that human. I become that parent because I have a 4-year-old who's testing. I want to know. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that being a mom in a rush has taken away from my joy. My joy of parenting, my joy of morning, just joy. Okay.
Yes.
So I set myself that goal. It is not fitness oriented. However, it still implies a lot of self-discipline and self-containment.
Yeah.
Because it's so tempting to do the thing on behalf of my child. It's faster, but I'm also wanting to raise an independent child who's capable, who knows, who's confident and capable. So I will not do anything my son can do.
Good for you. That's huge. And at that age too, it's so important. Yeah.
That age, like, he's so fucking confident. Mom, I did it. I
will do it. It takes longer, but yes, I love that, Olga. Good for you.
So that reflection has brought me into like life-changing decisions. But for example, in the mornings, I'm no longer going to the gym. You guys listening, you know that that's been in my morning routine forever. Get up at 5, I go to the gym, and I come back and I feel like I've gotten like, ahead of the world. I've done now an hour of workout. I went to a sauna. I journal. I'm in, like, let's go. And something shifted in the last 4 months where that hasn't felt like what my body or mind wants. And that in fact, if I wanted to slow down, I needed to have a slower morning routine that is not so prescribed.
Wow.
So I still get up before my family members.
Yes. So
my alarm goes off at 4:45. Lately, I've been snoozing that. And so I get up like at around 6. They're still sleeping because I have sleepers.
Great.
Right?
Nice.
Those are my circumstances. My people sleep in. I go down, I grab my coffee, and I sit down to meditate.
Nice.
And slowly start thinking about the menu for the day for my kid.
Lovely.
Like, what am I going to make him for lunch that is nourishing and loving and like, fats and protein. And we only buy whole foods for the most part in this house anyways. So I've worked on some of those things before, right? Like food was a thing that I've worked on my entire life. And so now like the options are always like what we want them to eat in the house. That's not a problem. And then when my son wakes up, I am so happy to see him that he woke up and we have time. We have time to get undressed. We have time to shower if he's going to shower. We have time to like sit down and eat the breakfast. I'm actually, part of my slow down that I eat breakfast with him.
Yes.
I used to never eat breakfast with him. I'll just like get him rush ready, put him to school, and then I'll have breakfast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, screw that. My kid is every day having breakfast by himself while I'm doing a million things around the kitchen. I sit down with him.
Love that.
And it's giving me joy back.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's giving me joy back. I'm remembering to say, good morning, son. Good morning, trees. Because that's what we do with Mateo. We're like, we talk to things and we say like, good morning. Look, I take him outside. I'm like, Mateo, smell. Go in. What do you smell? He's like, I smell flowers. I'm like, yes, we smell the spring. Aww. And that is what I'm alive for.
Wow.
I feel that those are the joys that I want to not miss on because I am a mom in a rush.
I love that. Yeah.
So that has been I would say over the last 2 months, I've been working. And every day when I go to bed, I'm like, okay, how did that work in this morning? Slow down. Like what helped, what didn't. And I will hold myself with the most amount of compassion. Like 3 or 4 days ago, it was a rush because I slept in. And I came clean to my son. You know what? Today didn't go so well because I slept in.
Yeah.
This morning he told me, Papa slept in. Right? Like, so he's catching on to it. It's like, okay, if it's rushed, it's your fault, not mine. You got it, kid.
Oh, it's amazing. So important.
This is like,
I love that.
This is my example of grabbing one priority and slowly giving yourself the space to develop that.
Yes.
It's not clean yet. The workout now is like up in the air. Like, so when do I work out? Like, it's creating a shift. And I'm showing up at all different hours to the workout.
Yes.
Which goes against what I thought a good habit was, which is okay. So I've had to really
love that.
Open new doors and sort of rethink and reinvent how I do some of these things. because a value that I really love having in my life is that slow, joyful moment to moment
Oh my gosh.
experience.
Who doesn't want that? And I think that, and I see you're creating that because that's what you really want, right? And that feels good to you. And this is something I try and help clients do, to like, how do you want to feel? Like, I don't want you to like work out because you have to, or eat these foods because you have to. It's all like, if you want to do these things, you will, but if you're hating it, you're not going to continue doing it. So I try and teach and encourage women to be more intentional around how they take care of themselves, right? So intentional with, having a slow morning, intentional with having time to yourself, and being really happy when your son wakes up, right? When we're laying in bed and our child wakes us up, like, that's not how I want to start my day,
Can you
right?
mind?
It's nice sometimes, but like, okay, then you're just like on the freaking treadmill immediately, right? It's like, all right, we got a million things to do. And so yeah, I think one of the words that stood out for me when you were sharing that is like being intentional and doing things that make you feel good and impact your son in a positive way. And that's what being healthy and fit does for people. They don't realize how good and how much easier life can be when you are more intentional and prioritize doing things that make you feel good, right?
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that, and I want that for everyone. That's incredible, and good for you for shifting that, because you were noticing how the other way was great, but you weren't in the same energy. And I love that you figured out this is exactly how you want to start, and you're doing it, which is the one thing to know and say what we want, but another thing to actually do it. That's where like the self-discipline and the commitment and the being compassionate and giving yourself grace through the process is so helpful. It's amazing.
Well, this is the invite that I think we have for
Yeah.
moms here, is to
Mm-hmm.
give themselves permission to be
Mm-hmm.
joyful. How do
Mm-hmm.
you bring joy back? This is why I was asking you what's draining
Yes.
you. What was draining
Yeah.
today? Because then you
Yeah.
get an idea of like, the morning
Mm.
routine is not working for me. It used to. And like,
Mm.
to be honest, the waking up at 5 and doing my workout worked for 4.5 years.
For sure.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
And right now, it's not it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's okay that it worked. And then, like, my son was younger. It was a lot easier to do certain things.
Yeah.
And now, he finds a soccer ball and he's like, oh, I'm going to play with the soccer ball before I get dressed. Or, or he decides to draw us like something. And he's like, but I want to
Oh.
draw this. I'm like, I hear you, son. He's
Aw.
learning to read. So he's like fascinated.
Wow.
He's always been fascinated by his book, but he wakes up and he finds books right next to his bed. So he's like, can I read a little book? So he's taking
Oh.
his own sweet time doing things that
Mm.
I want him to have space for. And I want
Should
to
be
be the
able to
mom that
do that.
allows for that.
Yeah. Much happier son and mom for sure. It's amazing. Yeah.
So yeah. So like
Mm-hmm.
bringing it back to that self-care, I
Yeah.
really wanted to give you that example because it's not fitness related, but it is
Yeah.
wellness. We're like,
Yeah.
it doing this work, this is what I call my heart work, doing this
Yeah.
heart work, like my heart wants to be joyful.
Mm-hmm.
I can only describe it as I just created a lot of space within myself,
Mm.
as opposed to
Yeah.
the restriction of the rush of the doing.
Yes.
I created so much space in my belly, in my heart.
Mm.
I see the results, right? Like my husband
Mm-hmm.
had a coffee made this morning by me with a little sticky note,
Mm.
ready to go, and a heart. Like having the
Oh.
time,
Yeah.
the mental space, the physical
Yeah.
space,
Yeah.
the energy, the
Yeah.
thoughtfulness to be like, I'm
Yeah.
playful this morning. This
Amazing.
seems great.
Mm-hmm. I
So
feel calm just hearing it. And like, it gets to be easy. It doesn't have to be hard. Like,
that's the
it's
whole point.
possible. Yeah,
Mhm.
right? It gets to be easy, but it's all up to you to make it happen, really. But it
Because
takes practice.
you talk about the why. And so
Mm-hmm.
if I think about why I want to be less rushed, is because it's stealing the
Mm.
joy
Yes.
of parenting.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
stealing or is distracting me from the quality of human I
Mm.
want to be in my house.
Totally.
I get
Yeah.
water. I
Yeah.
like to think of myself as water. I'm water.
Mm.
That's my
Mm.
element in this house.
Mm. Mm.
And so I was being more like a tsunami in the morning. And I wanted to be just calm water, where you
Oh,
said, like, when
yeah.
I stepped into that energy, you
Mm.
felt it immediately. And I hope all of you
Mm-hmm.
listening
Mm-hmm.
did too. And
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't complicated. I just stopped fighting with myself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So is
It's
that
true.
adaptability? This isn't working. So eating chocolates
Yeah.
every day is not working because now my body hurts. So
Yes.
what
Oh
would I
man.
like to do instead? And what would that be that priority?
Yeah. And like everyone's different. Maybe some people like when you were in the working on the morning phase, maybe that's what they want to do and they feel so good after that. And then they can go on with their day. But it's true. We all have different needs and wants and goals and lifestyles and what feels good and what doesn't feel good. But I really want moms to really sit down and take the time to figure out like what is it that isn't working right now and what is it that you truly want and how do I make this happen? So giving yourself the time and space to think about what you really want, how you want to feel, and then giving yourself the time and space to do the things that are going to make you feel that way, right? And sometimes we need a little nudge or a helper or a coach to help us figure that out if you don't can't do it on your own. But we all ultimately know what we want and need. It's just a matter of, being committed and disciplined and giving yourself time to start becoming that person that we want to become, right? Because ultimately that's what we're doing. We're becoming a happier version of ourselves. We're just truly living our truth, right?
Mm.
And sometimes when we're stuck in a bad place, we can't see out of it. So we actually have to like start acting right now like that person that we are trying to create. And that's something that I have found really helpful. When I was in the depths of COVID with my infant and my 3-year-old, and I had no help, and my gym was shut down, and my husband couldn't work. I'm like, okay, I could stay really miserable and be really stressed and be not in a good place, or I can do something that, brings me out of it. So that for me is serving others. So me helping and creating like 30-day challenges a month after my son was born and helping other people come to a good place helped me. So, and then I got to a place where like, okay, now I can take better care of myself because I'm feeling better. And then I started acting like and doing the things of that healthier version of me would do. So yeah, it's not easy, but you're important enough to not feel like crap and to feel
Mm,
your best. But it does take being intentional and setting boundaries and getting clear on how you want to live and what you want to do each day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just on the boundary setting,
Hmm.
for example, focusing on one goal at a time is the
Yes,
placing of a boundary. It's
that
okay
is.
to want all the things. It's okay to be
Yeah,
wanting to be the best professional and the best wife and the best mom, but for this week, for this month, choose
that's
one.
one thing. Yeah, yeah,
That helps you
yeah.
simplify life and like
Hmm.
really think of the three magical words: easy, simple, and fun.
I like that.
Like,
Yeah,
where does it not feel fun? Start
yeah,
there.
yeah. How can I make this easier? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Is
Love
this
that.
fun, easy, and light? No.
No,
Does it need to be in my life?
love it.
Not, right? If
Right?
it's not any of those three things, I would certainly question whether or not this is like
Yeah.
deserving of my time and attention.
Yep. Yeah. And looking for those energy vampires could be people, tasks, situations. Maybe it's your job. So you have to be
Yeah.
really clear on when your energy is like, or like when you feel low energy, like what is it? And how do we kind of avoid or get rid of those things?
Attitudes, right? I had a
Yeah.
client who recently stopped, or no, she started regulating her insulin. And she
Mm,
said, Olga, I can finally not feel like crap. She would have
wow.
never associated feeling like crap. She had normalized feeling like crap with like being
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So she's not feeling like crap anymore. She
Wow.
wakes up in the morning. Now she's a morning person. She for years
Ooh.
thought she was not a morning person. It was an insulin problem.
Mm, mm.
She sleeps better.
Wow.
Her clothes fit better. Like she's
Wow.
feeling better. She's more patient. She's like, my
Amazing.
mood has stabilized.
Wow. No more
Um,
crashing.
yeah. And I think that to your point, you talked about nourishing foods. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel after breakfast? How do you feel after that supper? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
what was the impact of that food? I was showing you my belly today. I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, I ate sushi and my body is telling me what,
Yeah.
that particular sushi, those
Mm-hmm.
those particular
Yeah.
rolls that I picked somehow
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Mm.
quite agree with my belly because
Yeah.
I looked like I'm like 5 months pregnant right now.
I would
And
say
that's
more like
true.
3. Yeah.
3 months. And now I know what caused it. And I
Yeah.
get to choose
Yeah.
moving forward, is sushi at that particular place? Those choices is what I want for my body. And my body's talking back to me.
Yeah. And sometimes it is. Sometimes you're like, you know what? At the time, I really love that. And I'm willing to deal with the consequences, right?
Exactly.
But if we keep doing, you're like, I don't understand why I feel like crap. It's like, well, you're kind of choosing that. So yeah.
So what's making you feel like crap?
Who, me right now?
Oh, no, for that. Leslie, please tell us what is.
Where do we begin? It's true. That's the thing, but women don't take enough time to listen and check in with themselves. We're just like, on to the next thing. Next thing, on to the next thing. It's absolutely insane. You just gotta slow down and do less. Can we please do less?
But it comes from where exactly what you said earlier. Looking for our worth.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
So nothing is quite enough. We're like, wow, that's not enough, because you haven't looked at yourself and said, honey, you're enough.
Yeah. It's true.
I love you the way you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't need to be accomplishing and achieving and crushing my goals every day to be good enough. Right. It's true. Such a work in progress.
Yeah. We were born inherently good. We're good. We're good humans, period. We can start from that baseline. Anything there, up. Anything from there is up.
So true. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
Leslie, where can people hang out with you? What do you do? What are you? Do you have an open offer right now? Anything for the audience to hear?
Okay, so the best place to find me and get to know me is probably on Instagram. So my handle's at GetFitWithLess. I have a few free freebies on there. So if you're wanting to get on my email list, you can download some of those. I do in-person personal training at a studio on Saint Laurent Boulevard. So that's primepersonaltraining.ca. And then I have an online group coaching program that will be opening again in September. That's called the Happy, Healthy, Fit Mom Method. But you can just learn more about that on my Instagram or if you're on my email list. So yeah, Get Fit with Less is the best spot. I'm trying to spend less time on Instagram, but I'm on there quite a lot. So
all right. Well, we'll have all those links in the show notes, everybody. So you can just go ahead, like scroll down and find them. And if you've got questions with regards to this particular episode, you can also just comment and I'll make sure to answer to each of you. If you loved it and you think more people need to listen to it, please share the episode. This is what it's for. It's to share the good, spread the goodness, sparkle that to everybody else. Leslie, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Such a pleasure to hold this space with you.
Oh my God, I loved it. So much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. See you guys next Monday.
Bye.